How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to episode 43 of Star Wars Year by Podcast, a Patreon exclusive Star Wars history podcast that I and my buddy Steele do, where we go through the Star Wars year by year, book page by page, year by year, tangent by tangent.
Page by page, page by page. Do you know that song by Pharrell?
No, I don't.
Piece by piece. He did it for his Lego movie.
Have you seen the Pharrell Lego movie?
Yeah,
How was it?
I've seen it a few times.
It's because Harry really likes Lego, huh?
Yeah, we got we went to like a preview screening of it,
Mm-hmm.
and like it was very endearing. It was really sweet. But yeah, we've since watched it at home a few times because, yeah, Pharrell's a little bit he sort of claims skateboarding a bit too hard. So
Really? I gotcha.
Well, he gave himself the nickname Skateboard P, which is like, come on, bro.
Self-ascribed nicknames are never the move, I feel like, you know?
Yeah, and then this footage leaked of him at Burnside, which is like the most hardcore famous park. It's in Portland, built under a bridge by just some anarchists, and he tries to do like a turn up a quarter pipe, like very basic, and he spits the board at like it's like, yeah, you can't skateboard, dude.
Uh-oh.
Like you can barely do it. And there was t-shirts that came out like around like the 2000s that said Pharrell can't skate, and they were very popular.
Oh, really? That's funny. Oh, that's brutal, but funny.
But we're here. Star Wars Year by Year, a visual history, 1992. On page 156 for the sickos.
Mm-hmm.
Although if you're a true sicko, you would have taken your book to Japan just in case an episode dropped.
We'll see. It's going to be the real test.
Catherine's going to be hearing this is like, oh, I'm not a real sicko.
No.
You're a real sicko, buddy. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Were you on the podcast with us when she did the walkthrough of 7-Eleven? Yeah. That was insane.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Props to her for actually doing it because I didn't know that she would.
All right, shall we get going?
Heck yeah, buddy.
All right. Shall we look at the spread of what we've got?
It's some good stuff.
Oh.
Look at that spread. Spread them.
But Lucasfilm's biggest TV project to date debuts in 1992 with Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which follows Indy, aged 10 and in his late teens, as he interacts with famous figures of the early 20th century. He's a real Forrest Gump, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
The result of Lucas's desire to create an educational and engaging television, Young Indiana makes use of digital reproductions of extras, digital matte paintings, and digital compositing, which earned the series an Emmy Award for visual effects and paved the way for a relaunch of Star Wars. And George says, I think people need to be exposed to all kinds of information, hopefully in entertaining form, so they have an opportunity to understand the larger world of ideas.
Well, right on, George. Good for you, buddy.
Right on.
I remember. Did you watch this when it was running?
I lived in another country, so I don't think it was on TV. Maybe
at the same time or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. can't remember if I watched it on video or if I watched it on TV.
I remember being very excited for this and watching the premiere, and the very first episode starts off with like a very old Indiana Jones, not played by Harrison Ford, obviously, like in a museum talking to some kids, from what I remember, and just being like, huh, so that's what we're doing, huh? My dad, huge fan of this. When he found out that you could stream Young Indiana Jones, I got a very excited text from him.
Really?
Mm-hmm. My dad loves Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I don't know. I sort of watched it. I know there's an episode where Harrison Ford is actually in it. At
Playing the saxophone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
And at the time thinking, God, Indiana Jones looks old.
Right, and that's before we got the next two movies even.
Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't that big on it.
I don't know that I've seen every episode, but what I have seen, I kind of had the feelings that it's, for me, just kind of okay. You know what I mean? I'm not the biggest fan of it. I do remember probably towards the late 90s, they put out all the episodes on VHS, and then they re-released the movies on VHS, and the spine of the VHS tape had numbers on it, so you know what chronological order to watch them all in.
Love it.
And I just remember being like, well, I don't want to buy all these VHS tapes for something I'm probably going to watch once or twice. But that's when I originally put it together that Temple of Doom takes place before Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I've never done too much thinking about that. I don't like it.
That Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark?
No.
I gotcha.
Why, like, why is it?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because of the historical era in like India that they wanted to explore, or if it was a matter of wanting to go sort of like pre-Nazis, so Nazis weren't involved. I don't know. I don't even know that it is pre-Nazis, to be honest with you.
Odd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get back to a bit more young indie stuff. But in February, there is a I think we've talked about this before. The Defenders of Dynatron City, which was a video game as well. Do you remember this at all?
No.
Okay. February 22nd, an animated TV special, Defenders of Dynatron City, airs on the Fox Children's Network. The project is spearheaded by LucasArts Licensing, working with concept creator Gary Winnick of Lucasfilm Games and producer DNC Entertainment. The special follows a group of oddball superheroes, including Miss Megawatt, Jet Headstrong, and Monkey Kid, as they protect their what is that?
I'm looking up.
Eponus home. Though it does not get picked up for a regular series, the special was released on VHS in October. Lucasfilm Games releases a game version for Nintendo in July, which I think the Nintendo game got absolutely, it was not good. Because when
I'm looking at the critical response to it right now, because I'm not super familiar with this one, and yeah, it got terrible reviews.
But let's watch the opening credits of this.
Let's please. Christopher Walken's in this. Oof.
So for people watching or listening on podcast version, this animation is like
a Windows screensaver.
Yeah, it's like the production credit screen for like Worldwide Pants.
Or like when you see animatics for the Clone Wars, like before the
Yes.
animation's done, that's what it looks like. But this is the final product.
Oh, so this animation's more traditional.
Yeah, so I guess they just did CG, like early CG animation to show the city, and then now it's traditional hand-drawn animation.
And what better way to top off a neutrino nutritious breakfast than with a frosty proto-cola?
Ah!
Oh, get me a frosty proto-cola, please.
Soda report.
Heck yeah.
Everyone's favorite soft drink. Dad's ready for an exciting day at work. Because in Dynatron City, everyone knows that hard work and a good attitude is what builds a great future. An atomic future. Because atomic power is...
It's all atomic power. Atomic power is safe, clean, and inexpensive. So they're in this futuristic city.
Uh-huh.
But they're all going to work in tank tops with helmets on.
Safe, clean, and inexpensive. The power of the future. The power of Dynatron City.
Why does the engine glow like that, Mommy?
Because it's radioactive.
Because you're getting cooked.
Yeah.
Wow!
Yes, remember, Timmy, here in Dynatron City, Mr. Atom...
Don't
is
drink
our
that.
friend.
Don't drink that. That is not what a soda is supposed to do to you, bro.
Oh my God, the guy's getting electrocuted.
Hey, looks like I just got that extra hand I've hoped.
So this guy just had a soda, and then lightning went around him, and now he's not only does he's grown an extra 2 arms,
But
But
they're
he's-
clothed.
but the jacket has
Yeah.
also expanded with 2 extra arms. Wow. What?
Always needed.
Oh.
And then this dude's got 2 heads.
And his mom's head is just an eyeball.
Oh, this is sick. So this kid with 2 heads
He's
has
wearing
got
overalls.
overalls, but because he's got 2 heads, the overall strap goes between his 2. He's only got
heads.
1 strap. That's insane. That is design genius.
Uh-huh. I'm turning around on this.
Dad, cool!
Yes, Timmy, cool. Thanks to Mr. Atom, everyone in Dynatron City is happy, and mutation is a way of life.
Where are the superheroes, huh?
Are they the superheroes?
Oh, 2 head, 4 arms, and big eye? Is that it? Let's see.
It's so weird because it seems like pro-nuclear power, but it's also
And,
like...
but then it seems like it's not, too. Because at first I was like, this kind of seems like propaganda for nuclear power. But then he starts drinking this soda and sprouting arms. And old mom's got a giant eyeball for a head.
My new improved mutation-causing atomic protocola was supposed to terrify these Dynatron City dolts into leaving. Instead, it's a big hit.
So this guy with the giant brain
Mm-hmm.
tried to develop a soda that was going to scare everyone out of the city, but
now
instead
they're
they all love it.
Making them stay.
What?
Buddy, I'm looking at the lineup of the heroes, okay? So, Miss Megawatt, voiced by Whoopi Goldberg, who can generate electrical energies. Jet Headstrong, who can fire his head like a rocket. Buzzsaw Girl, who has a buzzsaw blade instead of legs and feet. Toolbox, a robot with smashing hammerhead and a litany of useful tool options he can use in combat. Monkey Kid, who I think we're seeing right here, a blue monkey armed with exploding bananas and leader of the team. And Radium Dog, who can fly and has jaws strong enough to pick up cars with his mouth.
Why would there be exploding bananas?
I don't know what that has to do with...
Live after you dump the vat of syrup over my factory's atomic generator. and mutated it into this useless piece of low-class modular statuary. Now, now I am forced.
All right,
That is odd. I have never heard of this.
Did you say Whoopi Goldberg's in it?
Yeah, she's Miss Megawatt. She shoots
Wild.
electricity, apparently.
Oh, there she goes. She just shot some, I think.
There's Jet Headstrong. That's got to be him. That's Toolbox for sure.
Oh, all right, wait there.
Whoa.
All right, we're a team.
Good, terrific, super. Now, the first thing we do as a team is we roll to the left. Now!
They just become a team 4 minutes before the show's over.
Let's do some teamwork.
They're doing teamwork. Ah, his head. Jet Headstrong's head was in a cage,
Yeah.
separate from the rest of him. All right, if this cartoon was on back then, when you only had like
2-3 channels.
what are you doing to me, dude?
Mm-hmm. I don't foresee this having the same effect. I don't foresee myself being into this.
Then let's head to March for the Young Indie pilot, March 4th. The first Young Indie. You got to find this book, by the way.
Yeah. Do you want to pull the page up so we can see it?
Don't get started on me.
Hey, sorry, bud. Just helping.
Oh, yeah? Interesting.
Interesting.
There you go, buddy.
Perfect. You want me to read it?
Yes.
Okay. March 4th. The first Young Indiana Jones Chronicle episode, the feature-length Young Indiana Jones and the Curse of the Jackal, airs on ABC. It's followed by 5 one-hour weekly episodes, which collectively comprise season 1. And we got old Sean Patrick Flannery as young Indy there. And then down in the corner, it's even younger Indy with Lloyd Owen as his dad, Ruth DeSouza as Indy's mom, and Corey Carrier as a much younger version of Indiana Jones, who, let's be honest, the adult version of Indiana Jones really found a better style than like 8-year-old Indiana Jones.
Wait there. I've got I found a little advertisement for it.
Ooh.
Dear Dad,
Before he became a legend,
I've joined the Mexican Revolution.
he was young Indy,
Sorry about high school.
riding with Pancho Villa and running guns in the Congo. For him, just growing up was the greatest adventure of all. He lives a life others only dream of. The adventures begin tomorrow.
I'm definitely gonna miss high school.
George Lucas presents the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles.
Did you see that CG Indiana Jones hat go flying by?
I reckon that was the biggest expense of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones.
Shoo.
The Young Indiana Jones Chronicles looks like it was done by the same person that did 90s Scientology graphics.
It does, doesn't it? That's what I was going to say, is it looks like an infomercial graphic. Late night Dianetics commercial.
Yeah, I've never seen a Dianetics commercial. Is that good fun?
I mean, I wouldn't call them fun, but I remember seeing them as they used to play them all the time, real late at night on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like, a 20, 30-second commercial that was a volcano exploding with some voiceover on it.
Well, that's how I learned about Scientology, that it existed. Because in the early 90s, there was a World Industries graphic for Randy Colvin, and it was Colvinetics. And it was just
really? And
you
wanted to know what the reference was?
Well, yeah. I just was like, I think because then I'd seen the volcano and like the book, and then I was like, oh, hey, that's the reference. Like, but great vibes. Shout out to all our Scientologists out there, by the way. Feeting up.
You right? You know, actually, isn't the opposite? Aren't you supposed to get rid of your thetans?
Oh, that's why I
Who
keep
knows?
getting. That's why they won't let me in the celebrity center.
Probably.
I don't need my glasses for this one. The what a nerd. Look at this.
I think we have the same glasses, buddy.
Really?
Yeah, I think I have the same frames.
I think they're just the same. We didn't want glasses.
Mm-hmm.
But look, this this photo. This is just great sizzle. Look at these two.
George Lucas and Steven Spielberg looking like proud parents after giving birth. Like right, the first picture they take after the baby comes out.
Who's the mum?
George.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this lovely picture of I'll have to put this on the cover. This is just
It's so good.
It's too good. The Thalberg Award, March 30th, at the 64th Academy Awards ceremony, Spielberg presents Lucas with the Irving G. Thalberg Lifetime Achievement Award from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. The award is given only in years when the board feels there is a deserving recipient, noting that Lucas's leadership in encouraging motion picture exhibitors to upgrade their sound and projection quality. What a Karen. Better.
Listen, I agree with him. You know, sometimes you got to be a Karen, I guess.
Is an incalculable service to motion picture art. Academy governors praise Lucas for carrying the producer's role beyond the post-production phase of the movie making into the theaters. So,
You think he's still got that award sitting on a shelf somewhere at his house?
you gotta think so. He's looking at it so lovingly.
I know, and like it's such a touching picture that, like, just this picture alone leads me to believe that whenever George Lucas moves house, he's like, "Hey, first thing we're packing up the Thalberg Award."
Well, you know, it's an Academy Award of sorts.
Yeah,
And they, you know,
they kind of screwed him over in 1977, right?
well, not according to Leonard Maltin, but
Yeah, but I think historically we can review who won the award that year and say it was given to the wrong guy.
yeah, he disagreed with me when I said he was ripped off.
Yeah, I remember.
Because what was it? It was
Annie Hall.
yeah. But Hawes, I got a treat for you here.
Uh-oh.
Real
Is
big
it
treat.
him getting the award?
It is him getting the award. Now I've watched like just the first couple of seconds of it,
Mm-hmm.
and the introduction for Spielberg is it's a ripper.
What is with the background at the Academy Awards that year? It looks like they're in Blade Runner.
Looks like they're in a disco.
Mm-hmm.
A bad one. All right, here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the all-time box office champion, producer-director, Steven Spielberg.
All-time box office champion.
If you're a film producer, and who isn't these days, the highest
God, what shade to open with.
honor you can receive from our academy is this, the Irving Thalberg Award. The awesome list of audience-pleasing entertainment for which he is responsible earns the Irving G. Thalberg Memorial Award for my valued colleague and great and loyal friend, George Lucas. I consider myself a storyteller, he says. I make movies because I have to feel alive. George Walton Lucas Jr. grew up in the small town of Modesto in Northern California. In his teens, he was fascinated with anything mechanical and had a vivid imagination. At the University of Southern California, George was an innovative filmmaker from the start. He showed his brilliance with an award-winning student film, THX 1138 Electronic Labyrinth. With the support of Francis Ford Coppola, George remade.
Have you ever seen the short film version of that?
Mm-hmm.
How's that go?
It's okay, you know.
THX 1138.
It's no proto-collar.
No, definitely not.
First feature film. It was a powerful glimpse into the Lucas themes to come.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
Happy Days
proved that George had a special ability to touch the audience. The immensely successful film introduced a host of talented young actors and earned 5 Academy Award nominations.
Now we're talking.
See, this is the sort of thing that I would have just been frothing at watching this on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just it's a bit of Star Wars on TV.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's finally getting his recognition.
Lucas's imagination reached into the galaxy with Star Wars. His adventure fantasy saga became an international phenomenon. Indiana Jones was another epic series from the Lucas imagination.
I directed it, but whatevs. It's probably better than Star Wars,
Even though my dad would disagree, I'm gonna say.
The adventures of the rogue anthropologist took a whole generation back to the movies.
He's going on about this a lot more than Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. He sure is.
He's feathering his own nest.
Storyteller, innovator, visionary, like his creation, Luke Skywalker, George Lucas continues to look into the future and dream. George Lucas.
Why are they playing indie?
Ah,
Oh, here comes. Look. Oh, we missed the touching moment right after the baby was born.
I'd like to thank the Academy members and the Board of Governors for this tremendous honor, not only for myself, but for the thousands of talented men and women, robots and aliens, and others with whom I've been lucky enough to share the creative.
I love that he gave credit to robots and aliens. It's not lost on George that they spent more time on Indiana Jones than Star Wars. You see that? He even made sure to bring up robots and aliens.
I think it's not lost on George that no one laughed.
Yeah, it's probably not.
It's the way he said it was just I think this is funny, but I know no one else will.
Exactly.
But I'm saying it.
Yeah, listen, I've been there. I get it.
Movies are not made in isolation. It's a group activity, and it's only because of the very hard work of many actors, writers, directors, producers, creative technicians, thousands of assistants of all kinds, and projectionists that I'm able to stand here and accept this award. I'm very, very grateful to them all. I'd especially like to thank a group of devoted individuals who, apart from my parents, have done the most to shape my life, my teachers. From kindergarten through college, their struggle, and it was a struggle, to help me learn to grow and learn was not in vain, and it is greatly appreciated. I've always tried to be aware of what I say in my films, because all of us who make motion pictures are teachers with very loud voices. But we will never match the power of the teacher who is able to whisper in a student's ear. Thank you, Francis, for being my mentor. And finally,
Yeah, I don't know if teachers should be whispering in students' ears.
I do respect that he thanked the teachers. I also think it was a smooth move of him to thank or mention projectionists, right?
Shout out!
thanks to my current and most important teachers, my 2 daughters, they have taught me more and enriched my life beyond anything imaginable. After 20 years, this award comes at what I hope is the halfway point in my career, and I assure you that I will strive to be worthy of all it signifies. Thank you very, very much.
It would not be the halfway point.
I wouldn't say so. No. It says 92. So 10 years from now, we were getting Attack of the Clones. 13 years from now, we were getting Revenge of the Sith. And then Clone Wars. Actually, you know what's interesting? About 20 years after this is when he sold Lucasfilm.
Quitter.
What did he just say to him?
There's someone else who wants to say congratulations to you.
Someone
else wants to say thank you and congratulations. So look at the screen.
It's on its way now. You should be getting it.
It's the space shuttle Atlantis.
They got a hold of all the astronauts in space? That's sick.
They're on FaceTime.
I'm Shuttle Commander Charlie Bolden, speaking to you from the Space Shuttle Atlantis as we orbit Earth at an altitude of 182 miles, or almost 300 kilometers. It's our hope that this mission and those that follow will help compel people around the world, particularly young people, to pursue the scientific and technological frontiers of space to reap their benefits for this and future generations.
He's looking lovingly at those astronauts.
Listen, he said they're there. They're in space. They are the Star War.
The imagination and ingenuity that have turned dreams into the reality of spaceflight are no different than those which turn ideas and inspiration into motion pictures. It's in honor of that kind of ingenuity that we are carrying a special celebrity aboard our spaceship.
Who's it going to be?
We're very honored to assist in recognizing George Lucas, an explorer.
It's an Oscar award.
Who has pushed the boundaries of cinematography and science fiction to excite imagination and to inspire young and old throughout the world about this new ocean we call space. Congratulations, George Lucas, from the crew of Atlantis.
That's pretty sick. Man, the Oscars back in 92 were a dry affair. Will Smith didn't slap anybody.
Not a single slap. Oh my God, that was pretty wild. Oh my God, wow, I've just come up with this. On the suggested things, it's George Lucas talks Star Wars prequels, 1992. I got to click on this.
I think we got to see this. This is potential gold.
Where is the ambassador?
Oh, it's Entertainment Tonight.
Of the Jedi Knights made the Star Wars movies among the biggest ever made, and they all started in the imagination of George Lucas. But Leonard Maltin found out on an exclusive visit to Skywalker Ranch in Northern California that Lucas has more in mind for the Skywalker family.
There's a lot of things happening. It's much more about betrayal and those kinds of issues.
Most movie moviegoers around the world are already familiar with those landmark films Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. But many of them may not realize that those three hit films were the fourth, fifth, and sixth chapters of a much larger story. During a recent visit with the creator of Star Wars, George Lucas, he revealed some of his plans for the next series of Star Wars films.
Well, the Star Wars saga, I'm not going to pin you down to things you may not even thought of yet, but I mean, will it be a continuation the way of the kind of films we've seen already?
Yeah, it's pretty much in the same. It's designed to fit in one big package, so it definitely is not going to be completely different. It does take place earlier than the ones that you've seen.
You may recall that the opening title of the original Star Wars film labeled it Episode 4, A New Hope. What Lucas has on the drawing boards is chapters 1.
Lies!
The characters are younger, much younger. Take place about, well, the first one will come out is literally, about 40 years earlier than the one that was the original Star Wars. So,
I don't think that ends up being true, right? I don't think Phantom Menace is about 40 years before.
No, because that means Luke and Leia would be 30 in Star Wars.
Yeah. So Phantom Menace, and then there's a 10-year gap between Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones, and then I think 5 years between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. So.
Is it? I always thought it was like 3.
I think it's 5. I might be wrong about that. 3 to 5. But either way, the math doesn't shake out to be 40 years.
That's quite a ways back. And, I think there's some very interesting things about it.
Things as interesting as the intergalactic battle.
Tell me, like, when they stop recording, it's just like, all right, off the record. What's up? Tell us.
Don't give me this opportunity to talk to George Lucas about the prequels in 1992. I'd be banned from Skywalker Ranch asking so many questions.
Between the rebel forces led by Luke Skywalker and the Imperial Starfleet.
There's some action, there's action in it. There's some action set pieces and things like that. But it's more people betraying people. You're not knowing quite what's going on. You don't know who the good guys are or who the bad guys are. And it'll be
well, are any characters in it? But these earlier, a lot of them wouldn't be alive, right?
Well, it's Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker and Mrs. Anakin Skywalker.
Molten is foaming.
Yeah. Did you hear? Mrs. Anakin Skywalker, he said with a little grin.
One can only imagine a young Obi-Wan Kenobi flashing his lightsaber and think of the possibilities of learning how Luke Skywalker's father, Anakin, turned from Jedi Knight to the evil Darth Vader.
When you put it all together, it'll be a complete story.
Meanwhile, for Star Wars buffs who want to do their homework and be ready for the new episodes, the first 3 films are available in a new Laserdisc box set, complete with notes, drawings, and background footage of all the models used in the series. Leonard Maltin, Entertainment Tonight.
Entertainment Tonight.
Is when George told us he'll start the screenplay on part 1 within 6 months, but before production can begin, he has to oversee a 4th Indiana Jones movie.
What? A 4th Indiana Jones movie?
So he told them he wants to start the screenplay within 6 months of this in 1992, but he needs to produce a 4th Indiana Jones movie. That did not turn out to be the case. That 4th movie didn't come out until after the prequels.
Yeah. I only ever saw that at the cinema. I never went back. So there you go. Some bonus 92. It does not.
Awesome.
I don't know if it's. Okay. It does mention
the laser discs.
Yeah, it does mention that coming out on the next page, but it doesn't mention Molten.
Sure doesn't.
Getting his scoops. What a champ. Lovely man. All right. Look at him. Couldn't be happier. All right. Here's a flashback.
Uh-oh. Oh, Windows 3.1.
April, Windows 3.1. The Windows 3.1 operating system is released by Microsoft. Partly thanks to a TV advertising campaign, the Windows platform becomes the most widely adopted graphical operating system. Hate it.
I'm not a big fan of Windows 3.1 either. I had to use that back in the day.
All of them. Hate them.
Really?
I Mac.
Yeah,
Mac.
I know.
Mac. Mac tonight. Mac in the morning. Mac in the middle of the day.
Mac and cheese.
Mac.
Big Mac.
Little Mac. So there you go. Good graphic though.
Man, I remember seeing that on store shelves. That big boxed version of Windows 3.1.
They did come in big boxes, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What's in there? Nothing.
Well, a bunch of discs and a big book, like a big manual.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
In fact, I think it might have been like, if I remember correctly, the manual might have been like a ringed notebook almost. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. All right, let's go to Disneyland, Hawes.
Let's go. I'll be there any minute.
Euro Disney, April 12th, Euro Disney, later known as Disneyland Resort Paris, opens in Marne-la-Vallée, France. Its version of Star Tours attraction features an animatronic character named Roxanne in the post-ride area, who is capable of speaking English, French, and Italian.
Mamma mia.
I just assume that Disneyland France or Euro Disney did not go very well because of The Simpsons.
Yeah, I remember
because like Euro Krusty Land was a failure.
Yeah, I remember hearing that it didn't do well as a kid, even, right? Like, and seeing references and stuff like that. Is it still open? It has to be, right?
Oh, it's still open.
Yeah.
I don't know about now, but I'm pretty certain that when Jackie went there, without me, by the way, people were just smoking there.
Oh, that makes sense. I also think I've watched a couple of, like, sometimes I'll get like amusement park videos recommended to me on YouTube, and I think there was sort of a thing where they were mad that they couldn't drink in Euro Disney at first.
Oh, fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because you couldn't drink in Disneyland until
somewhat recently, right?
Until Galaxy's Edge opened.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you could if you were in the secret club.
Right. Or what about California Adventure? Can you?
Yeah, but that's not Disneyland.
Right. So it's same, like connected, but it's not Disneyland proper.
Mate, it's not Disneyland, all right?
Okay, fair. You got it, bro?
Yeah, because I remember Jackie and I, we'd always, when we went there, we'd always have dinner over at California so you could have a sweet beer, mate.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
A bro. So there you go. In May, a second season for Indy. May 13th, principal photography begins for the second season of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles. Shooting locations include Africa, Italy, England, Israel, Ireland, and Czechoslovakia.
All over the place.
McCallum's passport would have been just filling up. What about Prague?
He's probably in between all those locations taking a little trip to Prague. Got to see Liam in Prague. This reminds me that not that long ago, if you were into a show, most of the time they'd be filming the next season of the show while you were watching the current season, right? Now there's like 2-year breaks and stuff in between seasons and stuff, but Like, this show started in, what was it, February? And then by May, they're jet setting, filming the second season, getting it ready to go.
It's credit to McCallum, mate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about oh no, I don't have. I thought maybe you'd be able to do this one, but no. But I would like you to maybe look up the plot for this.
Okay.
As in June, we go searching for the Glove of Darth Vader.
Oh. Never have I had more affection for a bad book than the Glove of Darth Vader.
Is that Hugo Weaving with an eyeball in the middle of his head?
It kind of looks like him, doesn't it?
And then there's space whales.
Mm-hmm.
There's lightning, and then there's Han Solo and Princess Leia on Endor again for some reason.
Mm-hmm. And Luke on Cloud City. With
No,
the lightsaber though.
No, he's on Dagobah, isn't he?
Oh, that's right. That's in the wait. No,
That's it,
It's
isn't it? Isn't it in the cave?
In the cave, he's got a. Is he wearing the tank top in the cave? Let me look. Why can't I remember this?
I think he puts it on. I think he puts on his jacket as he walks in there.
I think you're right. Yep. You're 100% right. He does.
I've seen Star Wars before.
Drew Struzan, he knew, hey, we got to make that lightsaber green, though. Buddy, this, like I said, not a great book, but I have a ton of affection for this because this was the first Star Wars book that I got probably around the time it came out that was post Return of the Jedi. And, I'm like 9 years old. I thought it was the coolest.
All right, so I'll read out the blurb, then you can do the plot. The Glove of Darth Vader is the first book in a new series of Bantam novels, aimed at a young reader set after the Return of the Jedi. The 6-book series introduces colorful characters, including Palpatine's mutant heir and the devious and bearded father of Jabba the Hutt. God. The irony that we're about to have a film with Jabba the Hutt's son.
Yep. Okay. So this is the publisher summary. The Death Star has been destroyed. The Empire is in ruins, but the dark side lives on. Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, and the Rebel Alliance have fought valiantly against the evil galactic empire. Together, they have kept alive the hopes for freedom and helped restore the ways of the old Republic with its wise Senate and noble line of Jedi Knights. But now a new threat awaits the Alliance. Within the evil empire, the surviving Imperial warlords have been fighting among themselves for power. No one knows who will seize control, but the prophets of the dark side have foretold that soon a new emperor will arise, and on his right hand he shall wear an indestructible symbol of evil.
The Glove of Darth Vader. So, but what happens in it? Like, do they get the glove? Like, I want to know. Let's go. I remember these books because it was like, I remember seeing them and just thinking they were so hokey because it's like the Glove of Darth Vader, and then the other book was like Mission to Mount Yoda. It was all like these.
Is it Zorba the Hutt's Revenge? Is one
yes,
of them?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the plot.
Like
summary. Not too long.
Each book title had us like it plucked something from like it was like the Hutt, Darth Vader. Like
okay. Here's
every name had a Star Wars reference.
You ready? Here's the whole run of books: The Glove of Darth Vader, The Lost City of the Jedi, Zorba the Hutt's Revenge, Mission from Mount Yoda, Queen of the Empire, and Prophets of the Dark Side. That's the full run. Okay. The death of the Emperor leaves the Empire without a true leader. The Supreme Prophet Kadan prophesies that the next leader of the Empire would wear the indestructible right-hand glove of Darth Vader.
Why is it indestructible?
That's a good question. The Rebel Alliance and the Senate Planetary Intelligence Network, hoping to find information on the new Emperor, send a disguised C-3PO and R2-D2 to the planet Kessel. There they discover Grand Moff Bertolf Hissa introducing Trioculus, who claims to be the late Emperor's son, as the heir to the Empire.
Oh, wait, here we go. There's Trioculus.
Although he tricks his followers by seemingly producing force lightning, he demands that his advisors find the glove so he can cement his power.
I always hoped he tricked his followers because his eyeball just came off.
Because it was fake.
Yeah.
After much searching and no clues on the glove's whereabouts, Captain Dunwell, the head of the Whaladon Processing Center on Mon Calamari, contact him to inform him that he has found the glove deep in the oceans of Mon Calamari.
Why?
Because I'll tell you why here in a second.
Okay.
I remember this. By chance, Luke Skywalker and Admiral Akbar, after picking up the droids from Kessel, bring them to Mon Calamari to download the information that R2-D2 found. Although the Whaladon hunting submarine is destroyed and Captain Dunwell killed, Luke is unable to stop Trioculus from obtaining the glove and becoming the new Emperor. As he parts ways with Luke, Trioculus swears to destroy him. So, the reason it's on Mon Calamari is because when the second Death Star exploded, it shot garbage all across the galaxy. And like it is in wreckage of the second Death Star in the ocean of Mon Calamari.
Eat your heart out, J.J. Abrams.
And the cool thing about these books is there were illustrations, like full page illustrations. I think maybe like 1 or 2 a chapter.
Yeah.
They're wild. Like at some point, I think in the second or third book, Trioculus here gets frozen in carbonite. Sick.
Isn't there like some modern expanded universe thing? Doesn't Princess Leia get frozen in carbonite at some point?
I can't remember. Let me look.
I know Han Solo gets stolen from Boba Fett for a little bit, which is just like, stop milking the cow.
In the Star Wars canon, Princess Leia is frozen in carbonite between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. In a comic, Leia goes on a secret mission to determine the decarbonization process to free Han from Jabba's clutches. But 2 stormtroopers discover her in the chamber where Han was frozen. Yes, so back in 2020, there was a comic where Leia got frozen in carbonite. So that's a choice.
God, those comics.
Some of them are good.
It's all or nothing. It's all or nothing.
Sometimes they freeze in carbonite.
All right. All right. Last one from this page, Hawes. It's a pretty big one.
Mm-hmm. You want me to tackle this one?
Oh, yeah.
Dark Force Rising. Bantam publishes Timothy Zahn's best-selling novel, Dark Force Rising, the sequel to Heir to the Empire, and the second book in the Thrawn Trilogy. The plot thickens and the New Republic's fate becomes increasingly dire as Grand Admiral Thrawn gets his hand on a fleet of Clone Wars-era warships. And, okay, so cover art, I gotta be honest, except for Han, who the pose of Han does not seem correct, but Leia and Luke, not reused artwork from one of the movies. Got to give them that.
Han looks like It looks like
too small.
It looks like he was drawn from two different angles.
It does. The perspective on the gun is wrong. That's why it looks like that. Like it is two different angles and potentially two different scales is what it looks like. It looks like he has like, you know, the old school Han toy gun, which I guess with tracks considering they used the Kenner Millennium Falcon on those. Was it the Lando book or the Han book that used the Kenner Millennium Falcon?
One
of them.
Maybe all of them.
Maybe all of them.
Yeah, but the old like 70s adventures. Actually, when I was at Lucasfilm, I saw one of the Lando original.
I remember this. You saw the original painting. That is sick.
Yeah, that's something. I tell you what, probably every time I mention that, then I'll mention this, is the matte painting of E.T.'s town, and it had a little KFC, and I was like, oh, imagine how good that 80s KFC would have been.
Probably real good, buddy.
Oh. Not as good as Australian KFC, though.
That's fair.
I tell you, it's the chicken salt on the fries.
Well, I like the sound of that, so I bet you it is pretty good. I also have a feeling that Japanese KFC hits a little different, too.
Oh, it'd be good.
Yeah. Like it hits different in a good way.
We went to Little Tokyo the other day, which was super ironic with everyone
going to real Tokyo.
Yeah. Like not my decision. Or we went to apparently there's a hot Pokemon store down there.
Oh, okay.
So Harry and two of his mates went on a mission down there, and with all the families, and we went to a Japanese restaurant, and I just got like fried chicken.
Okay.
You know, like $8 or something, and some form of octopus deep fried. Like calamari, whatever, but like tentacles, right?
Yeah.
It was, I think that was like $11 or something. It was so good. Like and they had this little orange sauce you could dip it in.
Yum sauce.
Oh my God. And then Harry, he got into the tentacles. Then we had to order more tentacles and bloody good tentacles.
Heck yeah.
But I tell you it's quite strange to see your son just chowing down on tentacles.
On fried squid.
Just like he's Godzilla or something.
All right, let me ask you something about Little Tokyo. There are a lot of anime stores down there.
There is.
Oh, I'm going there next time I come to visit then.
Yeah, no, there's quite a few.
We don't have anime stores anywhere around me.
It was Sunday afternoon. It was pumping.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Nice. I wonder if a bunch of those stores are going to see increased traffic because people are trying to get in there and get stuff before like price increases because of tariffs and dumb shit like that. I know Will, right, went to the local Asian grocery store in his town and loaded up because he was afraid of stuff increasing crazy in price.
Really? He's treating noodles like eggs. Wild. Yeah, who knows?
I had there's a store called Play Asia that, you know, it's like a store where you can order Japanese imported video games and merchandise and stuff. And
sounds like a brothel. Sorry.
They have a similar system to like Big Bad Toy Store where you can pre-order stuff, but to save on shipping, you can have it all sent in one package instead of one by one. And they sent me an email being like, hey man, might be best to go ahead and get your stuff sent to you because everything's about to go up. So I took them up on the offer.
Who knows? It be nuts.
Sure does, bud.
Should we go Back to the Future, buddy?
Yeah.
All right. Wait there. Whose turn is it? I can't remember.
It's your turn.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I gave you a page number last time.
Okay.
Just opening blindly.
Yep. I've gone. I don't know what I'm going to. Oh, that's pretty good.
What year are we in?
We're in 2013, buddy.
Ooh, okay, that's pretty good. There's sure to be some spicy stuff in there.
Oh, this is interesting. R2D2 returns. This is November 14th, 2013. The Bad Robot Twitter account tweets a picture of the Pinewood Droid Workshop confirming R2D2's expected presence in Episode 7. Also in the photo, J.J. Abrams, Kathleen Kennedy, Oliver Steeples, and Lee Towersy or something. The latter two are local members of the droid building fan community that so impressed Kennedy during her tour of Celebration Europe that they were hired onto the production. Jeez, that's a good story.
Cool. Yeah, it is. That is cool. You're just hanging out with the droids you built at Celebration, and next thing you know, you're working on the next Star Wars movie.
That'd be like us getting hired to be Fode and Bede.
That would be sick.
That's gotta hurt.
Which one do you want to be, Fode or Bede?
I don't know what the difference is between them. I don't know which.
The head.
I want to say
the green one.
I want to say that's gotta hurt.
Okay. And then we got to do, you know, when they announce Jabba the Hutt and they go blah, blah, blah.
Maybe there is good uses of AI.
Maybe.
So there you go. Yeah, I vaguely remember that story of how they got hired, and man, that's sweet. So be on maybe, I don't know, Catherine Neen, if they need someone to scream at Cassian Andor in an upcoming series, it could be you if you do it good enough.
Yeah.
At Celebration. Yeah. Sweet, man.
You think maybe if I go to the next Celebration and complain about Boba Fett enough, they'll be like, this dude knows how to complain about Boba Fett. We got to put him in something Boba Fett related.
Yeah, I don't know. I think people complaining about Boba Fett's a pretty crowded market, buddy.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But
I like to feel like I'm pretty qualified.
I'm backing away and not making eye contact, okay?
That's probably more the reaction I would get than being offered to be on the movie, a restraining order.
Yo. Alrighty, Hawes. Blue Harvest most every Friday on the podcast, and I've been streaming and then later podcasting on YouTube every Monday. I'm not sure if you're around, but gonna do a post-celebration sort of deal. I was gonna do some stuff during it, but I'm actually going away. So
okay.
Yeah, we're going on a little pre-Easter 2-night sojourn. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, then I won't annoy you with text about Celebration while you're on family time.
I wouldn't go that far. You're part of the family, Hawes. Also on this weekend is WrestleMania. So it's a big weekend for traveling nerds.
Seems like it.
There's something else. There was some art thing in Japan on as well. Some street art.
Ooh, that's cool.
Oh, I've seen people like take photos in like mandrakes and stuff, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's the stuff.
So jealous. Everybody's posting all these pictures. People taking pictures with giant, like life-size versions of the robots from Evangelion and stuff. Oh, I want to be there so bad.
It is good. But there's always Little Tokyo.
That's right. That's right. They got anime stores and tentacles from what I hear.
Oh, mate. Best tentacles in the ocean.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Hawes. May that force be with you.
See you guys.